So my impressions of it, I jotted my notes down. It was super, super sweeping epic. Like the guitars sounded so great in the beginning. Just
Cinematic, right?
totally cinematic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a word. And I loved the singer's voice.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. His the overall feel was cinematic. It was a little different than I was expecting because that's from China. I was wondering, okay,
Mhm.
what kind of influence I would hear because I think when I listen to for sure like Japanese bands, I definitely hear an influence of the culture. On this song, I couldn't pick it out. It was something unique that didn't
Yeah.
something unfamiliar about the whole song. It definitely sounded unique. And the singing, I couldn't make out the singing. It's in Chinese, right?
Yeah.
I may not have even noticed that because even though he's singing kind of normal, but he was doing some nice
Mhm.
growling here and there, and I loved it actually. I'm totally fine with growling now. It took me a little while to get
Yeah.
used to it. I enjoy it. Their yearning lyrics, sort of like it talks a lot about truth. You know, the truth is indeed cruel.
Hmm.
Um, thinking, of course, that these fellows are living in China and they have a unique system, an entire culture is so foreign from here.
I
And
think it's kind of like an atheist anthem almost, you know?
mhm,
It sounds very disillusioned with, and not just religious faith, but also other ideologies too, like the party,
mhm,
and other, I mean, secular ideologies. It just seems like they're searching for meaning.
yeah. And this song sounded well produced to me. You said it was they produced it themselves. Was it indie?
Yeah, it was an independent release back in 2010.
Because it wasn't what I'd call a bedroom recording. I mean, there was real strings on there, and if the strings were used, if they used samples, they used them flawlessly. Because I would swear it was a real small orchestra or something. They had some
What
players
did
for
you think
sure.
about what did you think about the brass, the horns? Was that synth, you think,
I
or was that real?
I didn't notice the brass. I didn't it didn't pop out to me. I didn't notice it.
It was probably synth then.
So how many guys are in this band? Is it five?
Uh, five or six.
Mhm.
It varies. In some photos there are five members, in some there are six. I think there's five like solid non-rotating members, and then they bring in perhaps additional auxiliary musicians for other instruments when they need it.
Mhm. Because it sounded like there was two guitarists pretty
Mhm.
consistently. There was solos that were harmonized.
Yep,
They're both
I
playing.
love that.
Yeah, the solos sounded great when they were doing the harmonies together.
Uh-huh.
And then
Yeah.
there was also some single guitarists doing some sweeping and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe they took turns when there's two guitars to do that. I don't know. The singer's voice, I really enjoyed his voice.
It's
He,
unique.
yeah. So the lyrics, when I read them, I was they I wouldn't say sad. It's not sad.
It's frustrated. A lot of
Yeah.
frustration, I think.
I mean that line,
Yeah.
I can't tell where I should go. That's perfect
Hmm.
illustrates that feeling of frustration.
Yeah. Where to go? How can I find the reasons behind everything? Like, where do I go to search for that? Because I'm not feeling it. It's kind of like what it means to me. And then, of course, the chorus. There never has been truth in any life, any ideology. There never has been truth interwoven with a beautiful world. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just like none of this stuff is true. None of this stuff is real that people believe in or preach or whatever. I'm still searching. That's kind of what I get from it.
Yeah, yeah. Like to me, that's a real sincere sounding. The chorus is very sincere sounding,
Yeah, very.
frustration, and but then interwoven with a beautiful world. So there's still, there's still hope. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah, there
still.
is that little glimmer. And there's a breakdown. Well, no, I shouldn't say breakdown. That's not really what it is. There's an interlude in halfway, I guess, ish through the song, where the strings get really light and there's
Yeah.
like some plucking, like a harp type, and it's very sweeping, da, 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 and that's very Chinese. By the
Oh,
way, I
okay.
know you didn't. There aren't any traditional Chinese instruments like a pi or a guzheng in this song, or like an erhu, but that that little interlude is just it's so Chinese. Living over there for so long, I got to hear a lot of pop songs and just mainstream songs, and it's like they mainstreamed for a section of the song. But yeah,
Interesting.
it sounded very traditionally Chinese, mainstream music to me. But I like it. I like what they did, the structure of the song, like the dynamic, I guess I should say, the between slow and chugging, and then you get a soft melodic part, and then you get some power chords and some tension building, and then you get, it's really neat how the song progresses and then like fades back into heavy and then soft, heavy, soft.
Yeah.
What did you think about the whispers at the end?
Oh, that was super haunting, very haunting.
Yeah,
I loved it. Yeah,
yeah,
actually, I almost wish it had gone on a little longer. It was very haunting.
yeah, and it kind of oscillates between left and right, and I think it ties in with the last four lines of the song that he shouts, and the English translation of it's like he says four bars. You want me to believe what you say. He wants me to believe what he says. They want me to believe what they say. And then last, so who should I believe? And then you get those whispers. So it's kind of
Oh,
creepy
that's
crawly. I
great.
like it.
I'm glad you pointed that out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's really an amazing conclusion to that song. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's bookended. There's some creepy whispers at the beginning too, to start off.
Do you know how if this band has managed to get any traction over outside of China?
I don't think they have a lot of traction inside China.
Oh,
Um, they're just they're just rare.
yeah.
Um, and I stumbled upon them just going through YouTube, just tooling around, listening to some other Chinese bands. Did you do a review of O? I know
Not
we talked
not
about
yet.
them. Okay.
Not
Uh,
yet.
I
Yeah.
had been watching some of their new stuff, and then, or no, I knew about the Last Successor before O came out. I was listening to some other um, Chinese bands, which actually I have right here as suggestions for anybody who's interested if they want to um, hear some more Chinese prog or metal bands. There's one called Cold Fairyland, that's pretty good, and another one called the Samans. It's Samans, the Samans, and then a little bit more like millennial math rock. Hedgehog is pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, so I was listening to that kind of stuff, and Last Successor popped up, and I really got into them. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you, algorithm.
Yeah. Well, you'll be excited to know I've got a new Patreon this month, and he wanted me to react to a Chinese band as well.
No way!
I don't think they're Prague though, but that's okay. They're called Omnipotent Youth Society,
Oh, okay.
and the album is called I can't read it, and then it says Jixinen Forest Road is the name of the song.
Oh, all right.
So
Well, I can't wait for that. That's going to be a cool.
yeah,
That's a new
yeah.
one for me.
Oh, cool, cool. So thank you so much for doing this video with me. And we should do
You're
this
welcome. Thank you.
format more often. I like this. This is kind
Yeah,
of
this is
cool.
fun.
It's like a symbol for man in Chinese script.
No, it's the
No?
symbol for spring, and it's upside down, meaning spring is coming or spring is here.
Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right.
there's Finnegan.
Ah, Finnegan.
Yep.
I love that name.
Have a great night.
You too.